to Ghana, a country of many tourist attractions. My name is Kwame and I am your host. Come along and let's talk Ghana. Wow, this is awesome! The Kwame Nkrumah Museum. Look at our first president, guys. Come around and let's talk Ghana.
You are most welcome to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, a facility built in honor of our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And the reason why the park is built on this particular location is that during our colonial time, and this was where the British played polo. So it was called the Old Polo Grounds and meant for only British. Natives or locals like us were not allowed to come here. So when it was due for us to gain independence, symbolically and also to spite the British, the park is in 3 different sections. We have a museum, which holds his pictures and some of his personal items. There's also the mausoleum, where our first president has been laid to rest with his wife, Fathia Nkrumah. And we have his statue and other ones on this park as well. So the spot where you find his statue, or you see his statue standing, was actually the same spot Dr. Nkrumah in his declaration on the eve of 6 March 1957. And the statue is pure bronze, molded in Italy, and his posture means forward ever, backwards never, which is the slogan of a political party he formed, CPP. And in front of the statue we have other ones blowing horns, or let's call them the horn blowers. Those ones are also expressing an aspect of Ghanaian traditional culture. In Ghana, especially in the south, when we have a festival or a big occasion and the chief or the king is coming, often some of his servants would go ahead of him, blow the horns to announce his arrival. The same way too, when an important person dies, traditionally horns are also blown to announce the person's death. So right behind us is the mausoleum where Dr. Nkrumah, our first president, has been finally laid to rest. But before we even get there, on the park, since it was built in 1991, we've also had some prominent personalities visiting here. Some of them, when they came, were made to plant trees. So we have a tree just on my right hand side, planted by the late Nelson Mandela of South Africa. He was here in 1991, not long after his release from jail. There's also a tree planted by the late Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe. We have one by Laurent Gbagbo, the former president of Cote d'Ivoire, Samdi Joma, the former leader of Namibia, Moi Kibaki of Kenya, Dos Santos of Angola. Just about 2 months ago, the current president of South Africa, His Excellency Cyril Ramaphosa, was also here and was made to plant a tree as well. And there are others that I couldn't mention all the names. Now, the shape of the mausoleum, as we say it, has its own symbolic meaning. Now, from up to the base, it looks like a trunk of a tree. It's like a tree growing, but cut up in the middle. And one meaning is that he couldn't finish what he was doing for us before he was overthrown. So kind of, it represents Dr. Nkrumah's unfinished work. And also in our villages in Ghana, often when our farmers are from their farms and tired, they would rest under a shade of a tree. So he has been buried down there, and we believe he's also resting under a shade of a tree. Again, when you look at the shape of the left or right, let's take the right for example. From up to the base, it looks like a huge machete which has been turned upside down. The accounts call it a confina, so let's say the royal sword in English. Traditionally, when you hold the sword upwards or when the blade is made to face up, it means war. But when reversed upside down like this, it represents peace. Meaning all he did in those days were also done in the name of peace, but just that he was not well understood. And the black star up there stands for all black people. So at this juncture, let me invite you to the mausoleum whilst we pay respect to our first president. So we are currently at the mausoleum where our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, has been finally laid to rest. And this place happens to be his third burial since he passed. Dr. Nkrumah was the president of Ghana until 1966, 24th of February, when his government was overthrown in the first military and police coup d'etat in Ghana. In fact, he was not in the country when the coup took place. He had taken a trip abroad, so upon hearing about the coup d'etat whilst on transit in China, he couldn't come back but went into exile in Conakry, Guinea, where the Guinean government accepted him and made him also their co-president because of the role Nkrumah also played in Guinea's independence struggle in 1958 and the kind of help he gave Guinea after their independence as well. So he lived in Guinea until he fell sick in 71. They took him to Romania for medical attention, but unfortunately he died. He died on 27th April 1972. Now he was 63 years when he passed of prostate cancer. So they embalmed him in Romania, took him back to Guinea, where he was given a state funeral and burial as co-president. But then 3 months later, they transferred him from Guinea to his village, which is Nkrumah in the western region of Ghana, because at the time he died, unfortunately his mother was still alive. And he happened to have been the mother's only child. So she asked, they brought him back home. That was where he was until eventually it was thought that he deserved a proper national honor. So this park was built by our then head of state, the late Jerry John Rawlings. So when he finished here, he was then transferred from his family house to this place. So this is his third and hopefully going to be his final resting place. This is built of Italian marbles, but the architect was Ghanaian, that is Dr. Don Arthur. Dr. Nkrumah was a strong proponent of Pan-Africanism and eventually one of the founding members of the then OAU, now the African Union. So to make a more practical statement to his talk about Pan-Africanism, he married an African. His wife was from Egypt, called Fathia Nkrumah. Their union was also politically arranged. It was done by the then Egyptian president, that's Gamal Abdel Nasser, an attempt to unite Arab Africa to Sub-Saharan Africa. And they have 3 kids from the marriage who are all alive. But before he married Fathia, he had a son from an earlier Ghanaian relationship, so they are all 4. His wife Fathia passed on only in 2007 back home in Egypt. And not long after she died, the news came from the children that during her last days, one of her wishes was to be buried near her husband. So that wish was discussed by the then government. Fortunately, then, our current president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, was the then foreign minister of Ghana. So he saw to the arrangement of her being brought back. Now they gave her also a state funeral, and then she was also brought. So we have Fathia's grave also next to her husband on the side. So right here we have a broken statue. Now, this was one of Dr. Nkrumah's statues which was made after independence. So originally complete, and this used to stand in front of our old Parliament House just across the street. But during the military coup which took down his government, in the process, a lot of his things were vandalized. So the statue was also attacked and eventually dismembered to its current state. Just like the other missing parts, the head of the statue also used to be missing. It was only 2009 that an old lady returned it. And we were told she was one of his supporters, so more or less she found and kept it safe for all these years. And for us to also keep the history alive, that is why the head has not been mounted on the body but kept separate, so we can all learn about what happened to our first president. Unfortunately, in the museum, cameras are not allowed there, so our tour is going to end on this side of the park. So I would invite you to visit the park anytime you are in Ghana or in Accra. And finally, we also have one of the cars he used as president, an American car, Cadillac, which he got from the then US President John F. Kennedy. So it's parked somewhere on the park. So let's talk Ghana. Keep watching Cool Entertainment Ghana. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Estela. I want to let everyone know that they should come and visit Ghana because it is a very special place and everything here is so nice and people are so lovely, and yeah, they definitely should come and visit Ghana.
Come and let's talk Ghana.
Let's tour Ghana.
Come, let's talk Ghana. Bye-bye.